Hey guys, it's Viv and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to try to keep this intro as short as I possibly can, but for today's video, Paisley, Melody, and I are going to be showing you how to make your very own face masks for your dolls, so cloth face masks with ties at the back so they can be worn on your dolls, and we're also going to show you how to make face masks for yourself, like the one that I am wearing in the thumbnail. So this is a great project to keep yourself busy during the quarantine because these masks for the dolls do not require that much fabric. They are a great project for scraps, and also I tried to make it as beginner friendly as I possibly could. So all the dimensions and instructions will be in the video as well as in the description box down below. And also this is a great opportunity for you to make masks for yourself because a lot of health officials right now are recommending that people wear masks in places where social distancing is not possible, so in like grocery stores or for frontline workers. This is a great tutorial for if you want to make masks for your friends and family like I did to help them stay protected, or if someone for your own, or maybe you can donate them to your local like hospital or nurse's office or something. So I hope that you find this tutorial helpful, and I hope that you're all staying safe, and let's go ahead and get started. Start by cutting a rectangle of fabric that is 9 inches by 12 inches and fold it in half like this. Then sew across the top raw edge, leaving a 2-inch gap in the middle. Don't worry about sewing the sides just yet. So once you have your fabric sewn up, it should look something like this, and move the fabric so that the seam is now in the center. Now cut 2 pieces of elastic that are 7 inches long for the ear straps of the mask. However, you could also use ribbon or strips of fabric if you want to use ties on your mask instead of elastic. But now what you want to do is take either your ties or your elastic and put it into the rectangle of fabric, so the tube like so that it is on the good side, and pin the ends of the elastic into the corners of the rectangle of fabric. So you can see what I'm doing here is basically you just pin those in, and if you were to do ribbons or strips of fabric, then you would just pin them in at the corners here, making sure that they are on the good side of the mask. So when you're pinning the elastic into place, be sure to leave a little bit hanging over the raw edge like I'm doing here, so that when you sew up the side seam, the elastic does get caught in that seam. So then once you have everything pinned in place, you can go ahead and sew up the side seams, and remember to do that on both sides. Also, as you pin things in place, be sure you pin down the center seam so that it lays flat. Now flip your mask right sides out using the hole that you left, and go ahead and iron this flat. You can actually leave the hole open, like you don't have to sew it closed, because this creates a filter pocket, so there can be like a filter inserted into the mask. Now create 3 pleats going in the middle of the mask like how I'm doing here. I don't really have a specific way on how I do this when I make face masks. I find the best way to do it is actually just to eyeball it, but make sure that the pleats are as even as they possibly can be on either side. I find that this is the trickiest part of making the mask, so if you are struggling a little bit, just be patient and try to do it the best you can. Once you finish pleating, go ahead and do a top stitch on the side seams to keep your pleats in place. And your sewing machine will be going through a lot of layers of fabric at this point, so just go slowly and make sure that everything is nice and secure. And then once you are all done that, go ahead and iron the pleats in place. Then trim off any excess threads and you're done. Here is what my finished mask looks like. This is the one that I made for myself. I don't have pictures of the green mask that I made in the tutorial because I gave it to a friend. But if you are interested in making a mask for yourself, the pattern will be linked in the description box down below. So now for the doll mask, you want to start with a rectangle of fabric that is 5 inches by 4.5 inches. Then making sure the good side is facing down, so the wrong side is facing up. Do a rolled hem on either of the 5-inch sides. So what you do is you fold down the fabric's raw edge twice so that it creates a nice rolled hem, pin that into place and sew it down. My rolled hems are about 1 centimeter in width. Once you are done sewing everything in place, it should look something like this. Now go ahead and hem the short sides doing the same thing. I accidentally cut my fabric a little bit too small, so I only folded it over once, but you want to make sure that you fold yours over twice so that there are no raw edges. Now just like on the human size mask, go ahead and create 3 pleats in the middle of the mask like how I'm doing here. Again, I don't have any specific way on how I do this. I just kind of eyeball it and make sure that it's even as I can possibly get it. And then once you have it all pinned up, go ahead and sew down these short sides along the line of stitching that you made earlier for the hem to secure the pleats in place, and then iron them down. Once you're done, it should look something like this. And now for the ties of the mask, you can either use ribbon or strips of fabric like how I'm doing here, but all you have to do is just pin one strip of fabric or one ribbon to each corner of the mask and sew it into place either using a sewing machine, or because this is pretty small, you can get away with using a needle and thread. And then once you have everything sewn in place, then you are done. Here is what the finished doll mask looks like, and to put it on the doll, you can see this is how I like to do it. You can really do it in any way that you feel is best for your doll. So you basically just put the mask on the doll and then tie the straps at the back of her head. But what I like to do is I first tie the top straps, and then I take the bottom straps, and I like to make a little X shape with the straps near the doll's ears to kind of mimic how masks actually look, and I find that this helps it stay in place. And then I tie the bottom strings into place. And here are some photos of my finished masks. Now the one that Melody is wearing is actually a little bit bigger than the one Paisley is wearing, which is why it looks a little bit different, but the one that I made in the tutorial is the one that Paisley is wearing. And just in case you don't know my doll's name, that's on the left. So anyways guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and other American Girl doll videos such as sewing tutorials, outfit videos, hairstyle videos, and more. Be sure you check the description box for more details and information on today's tutorial, and also how you can stay safe during this COVID-19 pandemic. So once again, that is it for today's video. I hope you are all doing well, and I will see you next time for another one. Bye!